Thank you, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? All right, well, my name is Martin Keogh. I'm a candidate for Suffolk County Register of Probate. I came to ask for your vote. I came to ask for your support. But I mainly came here to introduce myself to those of you who don't know who I am. For the last 15 years, I've been an attorney. I started off doing juvenile law, criminal law, helping kids that got into trouble because I was one of those kids. I was born in the Mission Hill Projects. I grew up right down the street in Hyde Park. A lot of you know who I am because my family worked in Doyle's for the last 30, 40 years. You probably saw me around. I live in West Roxbury now with my wife, Pamela, who's from Dorchester, and my two little kids, Penelope, who just turned 9 months old, and my son, Nolan, who turned 3. For the last 10 years, I've been practicing family and probate law on a regular basis, and that's what makes me different from every other candidate in this race. There is one other attorney in the race. I don't think he can claim that he does family and probate law. Maybe he's been there, I don't know, but no one else in this race can actually say that they've even stepped foot in this office and practiced this type of law. But I have. For the last, for about 15 years ago, I worked at the Boston City Council for 2 different city council candidates. I ran an office there for Peggy Davis Smalley. I also worked for Mara Hennigan Casey at the time. It's Mara Hennigan now. And again, I've run my own law office for the last 15 years. The probate court, the first thing is telling people who I am is problem number one. Problem number two is people don't know what the probate court is. And for those of you who don't know, the probate court deals with death, divorce, custody, child support, wills, trusts, estates, guardianships, conservatorships, name changes, adoptions, equity, everything to do with the family matter. If you've got a criminal matter, you go right over here to West Roxbury Court. If you've got a civil matter, you go to civil court. But when you have a family matter, you go to the probate court. But the problem I see from practicing there for the last 10 years is that the probate court is a mess. Can't really blame everything on the current register right now who's been removed for the time being. She inherited the problem. She just didn't know how to handle it. But me, from being in there, I can tell you what's wrong. The lines are out the door. The people who go in there are very dissatisfied, and things just aren't getting done. There are cases that are going on way too long. And the reason that's happening is that there hasn't been any management in that office. You need to have management. You need someone who has management skills, but you definitely need somebody who's an attorney, and that's what I am. If I get elected to the probate court, and again, I'm going to ask you for your vote before we stop talking, I can promise you I'm going to cut those lines down, and it's going to be pretty easy. It's something that was done before that they eliminated. But number one, the Lawyer of the Day program, they eliminated that. It's only down to 2 days a week. I'm going to restore that. Number two, the internship program, they got rid of that. I'm going to bring that back. Number three, the forms aren't in every single language. They have to be in every language. And number four, everything's got to be modernized in that office. The forms that I want to put in every language, we can put them online so people who don't speak English can go online, fill the forms out, get them into the court. You need someone that knows how to do all of that stuff, and that's me. I'm the guy. And like I said, I've been there for the last 10 years. I know what the problems are because I'm there. I'm Martin Keogh. I can't ask for your vote. I can't ask for your support, but I mainly came to introduce myself to you, and I hope you'll vote for me. If anyone has any questions, I'd love to take them. There's close to 100 languages spoken in the Commonwealth, never mind across the world. The problem is, more than likely, it's budget cuts. There are forms in different languages there, but they're not enough languages. Right now, out of 100 people today that went in there, 93 will go in without an attorney. And out of those 93 people that go in without an attorney, more than half won't speak the English language. They'll speak the Asian language, whether it's Cantonese, Mandarin, Vietnamese, or Chinese. We've got to get the forms into those languages. It has to be done. It's not a big deal. One of my opponents actually has a website that's got forms in different languages. If he can do it, I don't know why the Commonwealth can't do it. But it will be one of those issues that I will tackle when I get elected. It's funny, I heard a rumor today that one of my opponents is going to fire everybody in the office. Nobody in this room, by the way. I laugh because all of these people are protected by unions. You can't fire them. The hiring process, you still have to go through the step. They still have to be qualified. With regard to the people there, I will tell you that I'm going to get there at 7:30 in the morning. Whatever time that court opens up, I'll be there before that court opens, and I won't leave until the last person for the day has been helped. A good manager will work behind that desk. That hasn't happened in there for a long time. A good manager will work with their employees. That hasn't happened in a long time. And a good manager like me, who knows the court, knows what those problems are, but more importantly, I could name you a dozen people that work in that office because I'm there all the time. They know me by first name. I know them by first name. If the manager cannot get along with their employees, if he can't keep the peace in there, he can't keep control of them. And that's what's been happening the last couple of years. Everyone in that office, you go in there, they're all doing a great job. They're understaffed and they're overworked. Again, I cited 100 cases. Actually, there's more than 100 cases that go in there a day with 20, well, it's 30 people now. But there's not enough people to handle the cases there. And if someone gets elected to this position, they can sit in the back there and smoke a cigar or a cigarette or whatever they want to do in that office. It's not going to happen. That's the reason why cases take so long. I heard one of the member of the audience talk about a name change. I did a name change last year for somebody. I got it through relatively quickly because I was able to talk to the right people. I'm an attorney. That's what I do for a living. You get somebody that walks in there without an attorney, they're going to get lost. And I don't know if that person went in with an attorney or not, but they will get lost because the people there, while they know what to do, the paperwork gets held up. If the manager doesn't see that happening, it's not going to stop. And I'm a hands-on manager. I've been managing my own firm for the last 15 years. But I will definitely address that, obviously, when I get into the office. Well, first of all, and you were the person I was referring to earlier, no one should be treated that way. I think you said the officer called you by a different name, which was absolutely disrespectful. That shouldn't happen. And he's right, she's right, the probate court does have a responsibility for that matter. With the name changes in that office, again, I did it, it took about 4 or 5 months. It does take time because you've got to go through the posting process and all of the other stuff that happens in the court there. Yours should have taken 8 months or 10 months or whatever it taken. Yes?
Yeah, every other court that my friends have been to, 3 to 4 weeks.
Well, this is the Suffolk Probate Court, and this is why I'm running. I go to Norfolk Court, Probate Court, and I practice down there as well. It's, you go to, if you lived, you know, I'm not even sure where you live, but if you lived the next town over out of Suffolk County, you would have been done in 2 seconds in Norfolk County. Yeah, and that's the problem with Suffolk County is that there's a lot of mismanagement, a lot of just, you can't blame the employees, but they are responsible. If they're not being watched, they're not going to do what they're supposed to be doing. You're right, your name change should have happened immediately. That's something that's got to get looked into. A name change shouldn't take that long at all. But again, I don't want to see that issue happening. I mean, you know, that court's there to protect families, people, women, children, everyone. And it's not that they're not doing their job, it's just taking too long. It's because there's not enough management there. And again, I would argue that the last couple of registrars weren't attorneys. They don't know what goes on the court side. They might have an idea what goes in their own, on in their own office, but they have no idea what's going on the court side. That's a major disconnect. I do because I'm in that court and I'm in that office.
What happened is that office, the change that room, actually did the name change 7 times. They had a process of 7 times in order to get it done right once. Because when you think of the inefficiency that exists in that office, it's incredible. It's incredible.
No, there are instances where people who don't speak English and it'll say first name, last name, they'll put their last name in the wrong category. They leave the country, they come back, they got a problem because their name is spelled wrong on their passport, the visa, or whatever. You know, it's management. It really is. You can get your license to the registry of motor vehicles quicker than you can get a document filed in this court here, and that's a fact. They just put the online website up. It's not interactive. You can go on eBay and buy things. You can go on the registry of motor vehicles site and do things. You can do everything online, but this particular office is still stuck. I don't want to say the dark ages because they are progressing. And Harry Spence, who's in charge of all the courts, that's on his agenda to get done. When I get in, I can't live without my computer, my smartphone. It's right here. It's always with me. I don't need a watch anymore. I've got that. But when I get in, I want to expedite whatever Harry Spence, the court system wants to do. They're doing it across the board, not just there. But that court in particular needs online filing. It needs an interactive interactive website, so people don't have to go in there. You'll be able to do it from your home, do it from your office. Do it from a terminal inside. They don't have those either, but that's going to come if I get elected as well. And then you go to the clerk as the last measure. Well, I'll tell you, and again, with the last couple of registers, when they came in, the people in the office didn't actually really know them that well, and they did their best. Registrar Ainella was in there for a long time. That office actually ran a tight ship under his leadership, whether people liked it or not. Under the current registrar, she didn't know the people when she got in there too, so there was a clash right away from the beginning. I will tell you, I know most of those people. It doesn't mean I'm going to say, well, this guy's my favorite, this woman's my favorite, and I don't like this person here. But at least I know the people, so they're not going to be dealing with somebody who they don't know, that just won an election and is going to step in and tell them what to do. I know what the problems are with that office because I hear it from them. I hear it from the other probate attorneys. I hear it from other personnel in the courthouse. When I get elected with the people, and there's 30 people, you don't really need any more. It'd be nice to have more people to expedite the process for everybody, but you don't need any more people, and we shouldn't cut any more people from that office anyway because they are overworked. But we just need to manage people better. And again, like I said, with the form, with your case and with the forms where people fill them out wrong, they go to the court, and this is what the problem is. If you fill it out, a 1A or 1B, and for those of you who don't know, that's a contested or uncontested divorce, and you go before the judge, and that form is wrong, I've just seen the judges look at it and just throw it right at the clerk. Bring it back, get it filled out, bang, you have to get another court date, and that could be months down the road. It's a management style. There's got to be better management in that office with how the forms are filed, make sure they're filed correctly, and again, employees that work there aren't allowed to give legal advice, but they can help you fill in certain areas of the form. That's where the Lawyer of the Day program comes in. That's where the internship program comes in. We'll actually have people that will help the people who come into court fill these forms out, get them into the court in a timely manner, which is what the mandate of Harry Spence is. And when I get there, believe me, I want to do that because I am one of those people that stands in that line, and I don't like waiting in line, especially if you've got to charge your clients for the time you're waiting there. It's not fair to anybody.
All right. I think that was the last question.
That's it.
So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.